Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for watching. So today we're taking a step away from the adventures to do a DIY project for my fiance for Christmas. So this is a mid-century modern bookshelf. We found this design online and have decided to go with it because it's kind of simplistic. There are only 4 legs holding each one of these shelving units together. All it takes is a few drilled holes, a couple of wooden dowels, and some 1x12. Stay tuned and I'll show y'all step by step how I put this bookshelf together as I build the second one that's going to go in our formal living room. The first thing we're going to need to do is cut our wooden dowel legs. This is an 1.25 inch wooden dowel. It's 4 foot long. It was picked up at Home Depot for around $15. You can also get them at Lowe's, Ace Hardware, those sort of places. We're going to cut these wooden dowels with a 10-inch miter saw. That way we get the accurate cut for each one of them. We're going to cut these at 6 inches tall for our design. I will cut the first piece 6 inches long, set it on the miter saw, pull my blade down to where it lines up right on the end of that. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to put a mark at the other end. So whenever I slide my board across, all I got to do is slide to that mark and then I can cut each board without having to remeasure. Now that I have each one of my wooden dowels cut to the desired length, I'm going to take them over to the workbench and we're going to drill holes in the center of each end, and then we're going to insert threads. That way we can bolt our shelves to them later. We're going to drill 3/8 inch holes into each end of the wooden dowel. Then we are going to place these threaded nuts into those holes. They can be threaded into the end of the wooden dowel using an Allen wrench. This particular threaded nut requires a 6mm Allen wrench. We're going to be doing this with the regular cordless drill, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to step up from a smaller drill bit to the larger drill bit. This will make the holes easier to drill. We have 16 different holes that we need to drill because this project requires 8 of those legs. Now that I have my wooden dowels drilled, I'll show you how to insert the nut. The way I do it is I go ahead and set it on the Allen wrench. This gives you a little more stability. I hold it as straight as I possibly can, and I start applying pressure and screwing in at the same time. Once I get it started, I can flip the Allen wrench over for more leverage. You want to make sure that you screw in the insert so that it's flush with the wooden dowel. I have decided to go with edge glued boards. These are 1x2s glued together, and then they're put in a clamp and let dried. They're packaged in cellophane, and you can pick these up at Lowe's for about $15 a board. This is 3/4 inch thickness and 12 inches wide, and then it's 48 inches long. 48 inches is the desired width of our shelves, so there will be no cutting involved. I need 4 of these shelves drilled. In order to save time, I'm going to clamp them together and drill them all at the same time. We'll then come back and countersink drill each one of them for our screws individually. In order to have the right placement for our wooden dowel legs, we're going to measure down 3.5 inches and measure over 1.5 inches on each corner, and then we will drill these out, and that will get the right measurement drilled out for all of the boards underneath. Because this shelf is the finished edge, we can't have anything protruding above it. So we need to use countersink bolts. In order to use these countersink bolts, we need to invest in a countersink drill bit. This countersink drill bit will enable this countersink bolt to sink down into the shelving unit and be flush with the board. We want to drill this deep enough so that the bolt actually goes down and it is flush with the top of the board. We need to take a bolt at each hole and stick the bolt in the hole to make sure. There are only a few pieces left that we need now to start assembling our shelves. The first is going to be our vertical supports for our shelving units. These are 18 inches long, and I have pre-cut these prior to the video. The other is our corner supports. These are cut with the miter saw, and they're just 90-degree triangles. For this project, we're going to be nailing the vertical supports together to the horizontal shelves with an 18 gauge brad nailer. We're going to use 1 3/4 inch brads, and we're going to be using Gorilla wood glue. It's good for indoor and outdoor use. It dries a natural color and there's no foaming. It's great for this type of project. When we get ready to put our vertical support to our horizontal supports, we need to make sure that our holes, the countersink part of our holes, are towards the inside of the shelving unit. We're going to line up the vertical support inside to inside of the horizontal pieces. What I'm going to do next is put a bead of glue on the horizontal pieces, and then I'm going to brad nail them together. You can be somewhat liberal with the glue. However, keep in mind it can get messy. Now, I'm not going to put glue on the other one right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this side nailed together. And I want to make sure that it's flush at the top. Later on, we can do some sanding to get a better edge. But for right now, we want to just get it as close as we can. Make sure that you keep your hands far enough back on the board so that if a brad comes out the edge, it doesn't stick you in your finger. Once you get one in, then it's going to be secure enough that you can kind of maneuver it around a little bit better without it falling over. The way I like to do it is to go ahead and put another brad nail in the bottom. That keeps it flush all the way down. Now I can go ahead and finish nailing the entire area. I'm going to continue to do this on the other side as well as the opposite end to create this shelving unit. Now that we have created the box with our vertical supports and our horizontal shelving units, it's time to put in our corner braces, the little triangles that we cut out earlier. What we're going to do is apply glue on the top and on the side, and then we're going to hold that into our corner right here, and we want to flush it up with the back of our shelf. Remember, keeping your fingers as far away from the brad nails as you can. Go ahead and put one brad in there to hold it. Once you have that one brad in there, you don't have to have your fingers near as close to the work area. If you have a brad shoot out to the side like this, all you have to do later is take a pair of pliers and work that back and forth, and you can simply break that brad off really easy. What this support is doing is allowing this shelf to not rock back and forth like this. These corner supports are also going to help keep your shelf strong and square. You do not want your finished product to be leaning to one way or the other. Only the middle shelving unit is going to incorporate two of the boards with the drilled holes in it, for the top unit to set on the top and the bottom unit to set on the bottom. The top unit and the bottom unit will have one shelf with drilled holes in it. The top one will be the bottom board. The bottom one will be the top board. Now that we have both shelving units completely framed out, we can sand and prep and get ready for paint. I'm going to apply caulk to all of the corners. Make sure that you get a paintable caulk and not a silicone. You can use wood filler to fill the countersink holes that we created to bolt these shelving units together. If you plan on moving the shelving unit in the future, you might want to leave those as is so that you can take it apart. Now that the prep work is done, it's time for paint. Now that the shelves are painted and have had a day to dry, we're going to install furniture legs. These are brushed gold to go with our mid-century modern look. I want these furniture legs to be lined up with the wooden dowel legs that connect each one of our boxes. This is already 1.5 inches to center, so all I have to do is measure from one end of the shelf to 3.5 inches down and make a mark and line it up right there. After that, I'm going to take a pencil and mark out each one of the holes, move this, and I'm going to take a small drill bit and I'm going to pre-drill all of those holes so that I do not split the wood when I put in the screws that came with the furniture leg. I will continue the same process for the other 3 legs on this shelf as well as the other 4 legs on the other shelf. And then this will conclude our mid-century modern bookshelf build. Hey everyone, so here's the final product. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank y'all for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button.